All right, and we're live.
Live streaming is on.
On.
Hey, Jeff McKinney.
We're completely unprepared for the show. So
Does Dolly ever
I'm gonna see how
live,
many
or-
times I can use phrases from King Theoden.
Does Dolly ever watch live, or is he just he's a listener?
he is a listener.
I haven't heard from Dolly in a while, so I just want to say hi, Dolly, anywhere. Anyways, I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Well, anywhere works as well.
All right, so Ballast Point, and then we've got the champagne story. We've got 100% tariffs on French wine, craft coffee, Uber drunk. Which one is the one, guys?
Uber drunk.
Uber drunk. Jeff?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Sure. Yeah.
That'll be story 2.
Now I'm in the red.
Do you need to go plug something in?
I don't think so.
All right.
Yeah, I should go green as soon as Sharon finishes her Zoom session with her students.
I've got 0% packet loss, whatever that means.
Well, that's a good thing.
Okay.
Who do we got watching? Teffrey. Hey, Teffrey.
Teffrey.
Change that T to a J, man.
I was waiting for that. I could have told him it was coming. If you can't get Kristen to name her daughter Jeff, then I don't think this guy's going to change his name either.
Kristen. Having a girl. I'm sure if she had a boy, she would have named it Jeff, though.
I've known girls named, like I knew a girl named Jeffrey Lynn. Like it was like one long name, Jeffrey Lynn.
There we go.
So there.
Hey, John, help me out, man.
Okay, I'll try.
Can you help me? Like, can you see that right direction, or is it backwards?
Gebrot mit naturlichem Geberschwatzer.
Hey, we got you pulled that from the 4th, right?
Yeah, man.
How come I got a different beer today? We had some matching beers the other day. Now they're different.
You have a different one?
I have the one I pulled out from the 4th was the Ladenburg Wiesenbach Hell.
Really?
Yeah. You'll probably come across that later. I'm in Wiesenbach Hell.
You'd think they'd be in the same days. It's cool that they just throw willy-nilly.
Yeah. Maybe one of us has gets to double up on one of them.
That's interesting. I think
Sven was taking one too many while he was packing the box.
It's packed in Scandinavia.
Oh, Trump Studios is with us. Solar is with us. Hey, everybody.
Hey, guys.
Hi,
gals.
Solar. Hi, TS. What's up? A movie by Pixar.
Oh, will it make me cry in the first 5 minutes?
That was the most heart-wrenching opening to a movie I think I've ever seen in my life.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
I don't cry at movies.
You're inhuman.
You know what? No.
All right. John.
Maybe once. Okay, maybe at the end of the Garbage Pail Kid movie, I cried. Like, I can't believe I sat through the whole thing. I want my money back.
You were asking me a question, Eccles.
Give me a mic check.
Mic check.
Whatever. I'll fix it in post.
I guess my mic's good. My mic's great.
Yeah, yours is good. You're solid.
Hut 1, Hut 2, Hut 3,
Oh,
Hut.
hello.
All right, Solomon,
Hello?
did you get the intro? Or are you still taking notes?
No,
I got
I'm
it.
taking notes about
The
I
point.
mean, are they now a craft brewery again? They must be,
They're
right?
not they're X-Craft, they're Recraft.
Yeah.
They're double dipping. They've double dipped into the craft market.
Yeah. God, it's so crazy. I mean, the little tidbits, they just keep going and going.
Oh, I got to clean up the crumbs off my desk. We're also going to have ants in here. A couple weeks ago, I had some ants on the desk, and I lifted up something. There was a spider running in between some of the papers on my desk. I'm like, oh, well, at least someone's taking care of the ants.
I wonder, to like the random person that just comes across the YouTube and this is what they're getting. I wonder, and they turn it off. I wonder if this is what they think the show is like.
Well, it is, isn't it?
These guys just hanging out, talking about the weather.
No direction whatsoever.
Ants and spiders on their desk.
Yeah, I mean, that's the show.
Pretty much.
Like there's structure when we actually start. I don't know if everyone wants to see how the sausage gets made. That's all I'm saying.
It's a good thing we do this remotely because I had green chili chicken stew 3 days in a row.
Jesus.
And a couple of beers to percolate things along.
All right. You all set there, Solomon?
Almost.
Okay.
You do have your wine, beer, and pop culture reference ready, right?
Oh, do I have it ready? You don't even know.
It's sober curious, John. He already showed it to us.
This is like backstage pass. We should be selling these backstage passes.
This should be like a Patreon exclusive. Don't we? Can't they set up a thing where like people donate like just straight up on YouTube? I know that's a thing. Why are we not doing that?
I don't know. Because
I want to take. I guess
the people that are watching now would want us to pay them to watch.
Yeah.
No, I guess what I'm saying is like I was just hoping Jeffrey McKinney. I was hoping there was a way we could double dip on your donations. All right, I think I'm good. I'm good.
All right, everybody.
Oh, I should probably cite my source, right?
Everybody that's watching, while we're getting starting here, let us know what's in your glass tonight, even if it's water, because you're not old enough to drink alcohol, but watch this show.
This show really isn't for you, by the way.
This quick disclaimer.
I appreciate the hit.
Not that kind of hit. Not the
talking about.
All right,
give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs down. You know, either way, like it counts towards the algorithm on YouTube. It's called engagement. So just, leave a comment. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't care.
These guys are whack.
Leave us a emoji of what you're eating if you're eating anything right now.
Is there a biscotti emoji? I just finished one of those.
Oh, that'd be delicious. I love a good biscotti with a black coffee.
Well,
nothing better.
I was Yeah, orange chocolate biscotti with walnuts inside.
Here we go.
This is Katie Wilson from LaRue Wines, and I'm here with the We Like Drinking podcast, where you never drink alone.
At the sound of the tone, the official We Like Drinking time will be 5 o'clock. Commence consumption.
This week on episode 256 of the We Like Drinking podcast, we'll be discussing recrafted beer, uber drunk, and it's playoff time in We Like Drinking land for one of us. So your beers, uncork that wine, and let's get drinking. I guess there's the consolation bracket for some of the people. If you want to partake in that.
It's all about the consolation bracket. Hey, I'm glad to see so many people are watching live on welikedrinking.com/show. Leaving emojis of what they're drinking. Water is very popular tonight. So
that makes
there you go.
A lot of sense. You got to put up with us somehow. So cheers, my podcast drinking friends, and welcome to Happy Hour 256 of your favorite award-winning topical beer and wine education podcast, focusing on fun, which we're going to have to try a lot of tonight. We're going to try to have a lot of tonight. By now, I mean, especially if you're watching the pre-show, you should know that this is a show you should never miss. So be sure to subscribe to the show by visiting welikedrinking.com/subscribe, if you couldn't guess what that was going to be. All right, we've got some people here tonight. We've got some things to talk about. We've got some drinks in our glasses. Let's find out what all that comes together as. We have our usual panel members. We have our California Sustainable Wine Growing Ambassador and recovering wine blogger, Jeff Solomon.
Hey, that's me.
We have our commercial brewer and snake wrangler, John Ruyak.
Yeah, I showed up.
And I'm your host and certified specialist of wine, Jeff Eccles. Now, before we get to the show, I think we got some drinks that we want to talk about. So, John Ruyak, I saw a picture of what you bought today. I hope you're not drinking 12 Russian Imperial Stouts tonight, but let us know what you are drinking.
So I cleansed my palate with a Topo Chico, which was on sale at Sprouts. But I did buy a couple of Russian Imperial Stouts today. I saw 1050 on the shelf for the first time this year, and I'm like, gotta get one of those. And I couldn't find any 4-packs because I would have bought a 4-pack, but I got a barrel-aged 1050. I got a straight-up 1050. But then what is in my glass right now is this Bambarana. It's a collaboration brew with Oscar Blues and Cigar City. They're part of the Canarchy craft conglomerate, I guess you can say. And, it's that time of year because I drink Russian Imperial Stouts in 90-degree weather in the summer. Anyway, this is their Bambarana. It's a Russian Imperial Stout aged in whiskey and brandy barrels with figs, dates, and Amburana wood spirals. And I was looking up Amburana, and I guess it's from Brazil, and it's got a spicy note to it. And, well, we're going to try and find out what that's like right now.
Nice.
You can see this. I mean, it's opaque black.
Yeah.
It's been in the glass for a little bit, so the head retention is still pretty good. I mean, I poured this 7-8 minutes ago. Not lacing all that great, but I haven't started to drink it yet. So
I had a crush on
Amburana.
I had a crush on the lead singer of that band back in the day.
I was gonna say Amburana. I thought that was a like a Dead Kennedys song. Amburana, Uber Alice. No? Okay.
Wow, I can taste the figs, I can taste the dates, and this Amburana wood really does give some spice. Hard, kind of I want to say it's somewhere in between cinnamon and licorice. It's kind of interesting. You guys should check this out. I don't get a lot of the whiskey barrel. I get a little of the brandy notes from this, but you can really. I've never tasted anything that had Amburana in it, so I'm guessing that's what I'm tasting. So Does it's a really warm beer. It's 12.2. Yeah, it's a warm beer. It's cool in the glass, but it's warm on my palate. Yes, it's seeping into my bloodstream as it goes down my gullet. But yeah, tasty.
Are you a brandy fan in general?
No, not really. I haven't had brandy in years.
So you're more of a fan of Monica then?
Oh, jeez.
Cinnamon and licorice, man. That's a interesting combo.
Yeah, it's you should try
Is that
it.
like the newest Amberana? It's the new flavor of vape juice.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get popcorn lung from my beer.
Jeff Sullivan, what are you drinking?
Hey, so I was super excited last month when Kara and I were walking through Costco and we found the Brewers Advent Calendar for 2019. 24 different 16-ounce beers, and every single day I have so much fun just opening up this Advent Calendar, pulling out a new beer and putting it into the fridge. Like, I was so stoked when I bought it. I didn't even care what was in it. And then I get it home and I start reading that, you know, it's all like German beers. And I'm like, okay, cool. I can get into some German beers. And sure enough, I take one out on the first. I go, it's a lager. All right, cool. And then the second, it's another German lager. And then the third, it was another German lager. This is quite possibly like the most Andy Kaufman of Advent calendars. like you're wondering whether or not somebody's playing a joke on you.
Yeah.
I will say,
does it at least have a little medallion of really bad milk chocolate in there too, or no?
no. That would be great. But anyways, tonight this is the Leidenberger Wiesenbach Hell. John, can you explain to me what a Wiesenbach Hell is?
So it's
I feel like I'm in.
So
I'm in Wiesenbach Hell. That's
There
what
you
I
go.
feel like right now.
So a Weizenbach it's going to be a stronger ABV, a higher ABV wheat beer, as opposed to Hefeweizen. It could be anywhere between 3.8 and 4.6, something like that. Wiesenbach might be 5.6, 6% maybe.
Yeah, this is actually 7.4.
Oh wow, that's up
I will
there.
say, it's got that wheat beer kind of haze to it. So all you squares that love hazy IPAs, this looks the way that you like your beer to look. It's not going to taste the same.
And hell means
but
light,
what
as opposed to dunkel, which means dark.
Hell means light.
Yes,
which is so interesting. Like, that's so against everything that I heard in heavy metal albums growing up. So, But yeah, what do you know? You smell it and it smells like a German beer. It smells like stale carpet, and then on the palate.
little spicy.
Yeah. A little spicy, a little weedy. Honestly, it's got like a little like old English to it. Like, it's, yay.
Yeah,
I'm stuck now. It's the sunk cost fallacy where it's like, I already paid for it. I may as well keep going. But geez, I was so excited to post the first day, and then it was like I opened it up on the second day, and I'm like, I've lost steam already. Already.
Yeah, Jeff, ditto is what I'll say about that. Yeah, I remember I got it home and it was sitting here, and then one day I was looking at it and it said, all German beer. I was like, wait, what the fuck did I just sign up for? But yeah, I mean, each day I notice a little bit different, but for the most part, It's German beer. And here's what's really interesting. So if you guys been following our Instagram feed, you'll know that I'm currently going through 3 advent calendars. So there's that. The first is the cheese from Aldi, which is a lot of fun. I really wish it was more cheese, but they've all been good so far, except for the third and the fourth were both aged cheddar. I'm not sure why they do the same thing back to back, but it's good. I'm also doing the Aldi wine advent calendar, and a big shout out to listener Annette Rink, who is in Iowa and got these advent calendars for me since there is no Aldi in Colorado, and managed to get them out to me via a wine mule. Essentially, she found somebody that just happened to be driving out here, and they carted it out here for us. So thank you for that. But tonight, I gotta say, I'm really pleased with the Aldi cheese and wine, both advent calendars. Today is a Tempranillo
On Cabernet Franc Day?
on Cabernet Franc Day. I guess they didn't get that memo. This is from Spain. The first day was a sparkling cava from Spain. There's also been a Merlot rosé from France. And I can't remember. Oh, a Sauvignon Blanc from Chile. So, and they've all been really good. Now, they're not 92 point blow your mind, but they're very on point for how you would expect them to taste. So if this was something that you were interested in wine, it's a good thing to be trying out. So this Tempranillo is right on the nose and nice on the palate. Good fruit flavor, a lot of acidity, not a whole lot of tannins, but a very drinkable Tempranillo that I'm happy with. Here's what's interesting. I've got the goddamn beer one, and they're not even the same. Like I've got Meminger Gold. It's a Marzen from Gewürztraminer. It's a Bavarian beer. They're not even the same. So we can't even like taste them together because that would be the way you would expect it to be. So apparently the Oompa Loompas are just tossing cans into whatever box they want and no direction.
You know what though, Eccles? Go ahead and open it up. Our beers are going to taste the same. That's how it works.
That's not true. That's a Marzen. It should taste like an Oktoberfest.
Have you ever noticed
that
that all German beers taste exactly the same? Somebody had to say it. Somebody had to say it. All German beers taste the same.
Not
they all
true.
taste the same. Here's this is Bavarian Marzen. So different.
Rocking
5.1
ABV. My favorite part though is that every one of them lists the ingredients. It's a German beer. You really don't need to list the ingredients. We know them. I mean, John, take a guess. What are the ingredients of my beer?
Water, malt,
hops,
and yeast.
Check. Good job. All right. Let's move on with this stuff. That was 10 minutes you don't get back, folks. Let's get
here's what we do. We put 24 beers in a case, and they all taste the same.
And Jeff, so what you're saying, Jeff, is really all that's changing is the labels. It's all coming from the same place.
So it was really packaged in China then.
I found all these cans. Let's play a trick. True story today. I don't post many political things on Facebook, but I did say something political today, and I'm not playing you. Minutes later, my Instagram account got hacked from somebody in Moscow. Like I'm not playing when I say that. Like I literally got an alert and it gave an echolocation of somebody in Moscow that tried to log into my account. I'm not playing here. I'm on to you, Russians.
You say, Vlad. I'm more cut than Vlad.
Okay.
They're the ones that put all these stupid beers on this dumb advent calendar.
And now,
Wine, beer, or pop culture reference. This is where I am going to give a term to the panel, and they are going to let us know if this is a wine, a beer, or a pop culture reference. Everybody at home, in your cars, play along, yell at your speakers. If you're watching live at welikedrinking.com/show on a Wednesday night, type in what you think it is in those comments. The term this week is Kalea. Is Kalea a wine, a beer, or a pop culture reference? Jeff Eccles.
can you spell it, please?
Kalea. Kalea.
Kalea. Not Kahlua. Kalea.
Kalea. Not your favorite band, Jars of Kalea. Kalea.
Wow. Like typically when you get a word, it's like it sparks something. But I must be drinking too much of this German beer because this isn't sparking anything for me. So I'm going to say that this is a pop culture reference. I'm going to take the John method of punting and say that Kalea is something that you see in your bedroom right now, and you didn't realize you had the wine, beer, pop culture reference until we started the show.
Okay. Jeff Eccles is a dick. John Ruyak.
Wow, Kalea. This is it doesn't. Your face froze. It was funny as hell. I'm thinking pop culture reference, and I'm going to say it's the planet that the Mandalorian took the Yoda baby to.
Oh, don't tell me what happens. I just signed up and started last night.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
tell me.
So I guess that's not it. But I'm still going pop culture reference. And that was my guess.
So John Ruyak says it's a pop culture reference having something to do with The Mandalorian, which I happen to have started watching last night. I only saw the first episode. Thanks, Internet, for spoiling that it was going to be Baby Yoda at the end. Like everybody knew because of you, stupid Internet. And Jeff Eccles says it's a pop culture reference because it's something that's in my room that I'm staring at because I didn't know what my job was. As I look to my right, your left, I see a Brewers advent calendar, and in the top right-hand corner it says Original Kalea. So Kalea is either the name of the company that made this stupid advent calendar, or Kalea is the German word for shitty calendar. Either way, it's a pop culture reference because it's something that was in my room, but I thought about it before I logged in. So, fuck you guys. Kalea. Hey, everybody! It's Vladimir Putin. I just want to let everybody know my big plan was to get some Germans to send over this weird advent calendar, get everybody to start drinking it, and then this general malaise starts forming all over the United States, and it destroys their democracy. Fuck, man! It's the Russians. And now they're hacking into my Instagram. This is garbage.
So
Hacking into your beer advent calendar.
I guess we should. I should cancel my email to Costco about sponsoring the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, hey guys! Here's a segment we don't get to have very often, but we're always excited about it. It is. Welcome to our newest Patreon. Yes, we got a new Patreon this week. Alexandra, down in Florida. Welcome to the Patreon, Alexandra. She signed up for the $1 a month fee level. So she is getting access to the incredible after party that we have once a month-ish. And access to everything else that's going on in Patreon. She's also a member of the Tavern and everything else. So Alexandra, welcome to the group. We are super happy to have you in our little community, and look for more from us. You should have already gotten something from us today. All right. Anything else on that, guys?
Well, that's just cool.
I think so.
Thanks, Alexandra. And to all you freeloaders out there freeloading, WeLikeDrinking.com/pledge. Find out you can help this little podcast become the greatest thing since shitty advent calendar.
All right. We've gotten through the intros. We've gotten through all that good stuff. Let's get to the hard hitting booze news. We discuss interesting, noteworthy, or sometimes some pretty stupid things. Jeff Solomon.
I'm going to say some words. Ballast Point. Sculpin. You know what's funny? When we first started this show, Ballast Point was the jam.
Yep.
And they knew it. Everybody knew it. You would go to pick up a 6-pack of Ballast Point Sculpin IPA. I would go into some places $17.99 for a 6-pack. And it was just all like, well, it's a good IPA. But like everybody was stoked on it, and they could command that price. And so while, everybody was kind of weirded out when they were bought out by Constellation Brands 4 years ago, and weirded out by the number, like it was $1 billion that Ballast Point sold for 4 years ago. It kind of made sense that, if these macro breweries and conglomerates are going to start picking up all of these microbreweries, that of course, like Ballast Point was so hot, somebody was going to go for it and somebody was going to buy it. We've been talking for the last couple of years about how since Constellation Brands took over, Ballast Point has just kind of taken a dive. I really can't think of the last time I went out of my way to buy a Ballast Point. Every once in a while I'll be at a party and somebody has like the mixed case of Ballast Point, and you're like, I'll drink a Sculpin. And I see it in stores all the time, like prices where they used to command like $17.99 for a 6-pack. I'll see them for anywhere from $11 to $13 now, which is still it's a pretty penny for a craft beer that wasn't even craft anymore because they were bought up by Constellation Brands. But this is something that I think caught everybody off guard as we're recording on December 4th. This came out yesterday, December 3rd, from the San Diego Union Tribune. Ballast Point was sold by Constellation Brands to Kings and Convicts Brewing Company out of Illinois. They're a microbrewery from Illinois that bought Ballast Point from Constellation Brands. And it's just so crazy. They haven't given out details of how much money they paid. What we do know is Kings and Convicts is now getting, well, they're actually moving their brewing company to San Diego. They're getting 4 of Ballast Point's Southern California brew pubs. They are getting Ballast Point's Chicago brew pub. They are also taking over the Home Brew Mart, which was the brewery supply store that Ballast Point started from. What is interesting to note is that Constellation Brands is still keeping the Daleville, Virginia Ballast Point. So I think when our buddy Stubb heads out to his local Ballast Point, that one is still owned by Constellation Brands. What's really weird is this. At its peak in 2016, Ballast Point was selling 431,000 barrels a year, which is massive. But they've been taking a dip. In 2018, they were down to 320,000 barrels. But have no fear, because Kings and Convicts Brewing Company says that they will definitely surpass 200,000 barrels this year, which would be a dip, which would be the lowest point in the last 4 years that they've had. I just got to know, just as this stuff is coming hot off the presses, like, what are you thinking, man? What do you think about this, John?
I'm just trying to do some math. A barrel is 31 gallons, right? That's 330 12-ounce bottles, right? So 431,000 barrels times 330. There's some waste on either end of that, but just for kicks and giggles, right? That's 142 million bottles of beer a year, right? So if you're maybe, at the wholesale level, you're making maybe 50, 60, 75 cents a bottle, maybe you're pulling in $100 million a year at the height of their production. And Constellation bought them for $1 billion. They really didn't do their homework, did they? I mean, it take them 10 years to turn around that investment to realize any kind of profit out of it. I know that Constellation Brands owned Corona and Modelo and things like that. So that was previous to them purchasing Ballast Point. I'm fairly certain of that. So these were larger industrial sized breweries that really have honed their profit model for a long, long time. And really, craft beer is still sort of, if you want to think about it, still in its infancy, right? As far as that kind of volume and things. So, I mean, someone really screwed the pooch in that decision to buy Ballast Point in the first place for that kind of money.
For that money.
Yeah, I mean, maybe 5 years, maybe $300 million. I don't think the guys at Ballast Point would have sneezed at $300 million, would they? Well,
And
I wouldn't have.
I'm trying to remember back. I think when it did sell, everybody was like beyond shocked at that number. Like, I think even it wasn't that they were shocked that, wow, $1 billion and that's a value. I think everybody was like, what? $1 billion with a B dollars?
Yeah, and how, you can say anything you'd like, but how motivated are you after someone just hands you $1 billion, right?
Right.
All of a sudden the light goes on, and man, I'm really going to make the beer even better now that I've got $1 billion in my pocket. I mean, no. I mean, that kind of money can kind of kill things, and obviously it did. And is there any 6-pack that's worth $18? I mean, no. I sent you guys a picture today. I was at Sprouts. I was picking up some vegetables for stir fry I made tonight, and I was just like, thinking we were going to do this story, and I'm just looking at the beer case, and I take a picture, and Ballast Sculpin was on sale for $13.99 a 6-pack, down from $14.99. I'm like, who's paying $15 for a 6-pack of this stuff now? It wasn't worth that much even at the height of its popularity. I mean, most 6-packs of high grade, well thought of IPAs in Albuquerque go for $10. All the local guys, Marble, Santa Fe, the better known Colorado brands of IPAs, it's $9.99.
Well, and what's weird too is like, Lagunitas, after being, first partially and then fully bought out by Heineken, I don't pay more than $9 for a 6-pack of any of dude, when like the Waldo's special, when the Waldo's special comes out, maybe that's a little bit more, but like that Born Yesterday, that was $9 for that 6-pack. Usually the price goes the other way just because they're making so much, and I know the margins are slim. I wonder if, like, in the bigger picture, Constellation Brands was actually looking at, by getting that brand, they were able to get shelf space, not just for Ballast Point, because look, some were saying like, oh, well, now you're getting Ballast Point in all these other grocery stores, but really in a lot of places, in a lot of markets, it was already available. I wonder if it's the other way around. I wonder if it was Constellation Brands was saying to like these niche, like, like these niche liquor stores that were carrying like microbrews. I wonder if they were saying like, oh yeah, you still want this Sculpin account? Buy more Modelo and put that on your shelves. I wonder if Modelo and Corona sales actually went up during that time, like if they were able to get more purchase that way. But yeah, the other thing I'm thinking is like, Kings and Convicts, they must have been paying pennies on the dollar to buy Ballast Point from Constellation.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll ever find out what that number is. Constellation's publicly held, though, right? Are they, or are they private? I don't know.
I don't know the answer to that.
But the other thing is weird is this Kings and Convicts. They have like 9 employees.
9 employees. That's the part that really just floors me the most is like how. And when they, in the article, they talk about how like they almost said in joking in passing, like, hey, it'd be cool if we had Ballast Point, and Constellation was like, you want it?
Yeah, it's almost like they're walking down the sidewalk and the guy opens up his coat and shows them all those fake watches, right? I got a brewery for sale for you, right?
But that's the number would just be fascinating to be able to see. But it'll be interesting, Jeff. You mentioned that Constellation is continuing to hold the brewery in Virginia.
In Virginia, yeah.
I'm really curious to see. Like, I imagine they won't be producing Ballast Point anymore.
No.
I imagine Constellation is taking that over to produce whatever the F they want. And that I don't know if that was what Constellation was thinking when they bought it, is that they're going to have all this production to be able to produce what they wanted, or if they thought just Ballast Point was going to keep going through the roof, and now they're just kind of cutting their losses and saying, but we want to keep some type of manufacturing over here, you know, and they're like, yeah, that West Coast stuff, you can go ahead and have that. Chicago, that's where you're at. You can have that. So I'm guessing that when Stubb swings by there, that he won't be getting a Ballast Point. He'll be getting, you know, Jim's Hazy IPA.
Oh God, the Hazy House! I can't wait for the Hazy IPA calendar to come out of Constellation Brands next year. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, it's this one's like it's juicy. It's juicy, everybody.
Yeah. Next year we'll have to make sure to get the Constellation brand beer advent calendar so it can just be Corona and Modelo every other day. Be really close to this year. But
So come with like some dried out limes.
so we talked about it before.
Those hurt when they hit you upside the head.
We were talking about it before the show. I mean, this should mean that Ballast Point was a craft brewery, and then it wasn't a craft brewery, and now it is back to being a craft brewery, right?
Yeah, well, we have to wait till all the places that have Ballast Point right now, that's not craft beer. That all needs to be sold. And then the next wave that has like the little independent badge on it, that's what you buy. You know,
And
what we
so-
should do is try to get like the macro and the micro version and drink them side by side.
Yeah. Let's do that for sure. It will really be interesting, though, to see how this is received in the craft beer community. You know, if there is a vintage or a nostalgic throwback to the Ballast Point now that it's craft beer again, if people will actually, if that really weighed on people so much, they're like, no, I can't buy it because it's macro. And now if they're like, hey, all right, I can buy it again. I mean, I don't think that's what's
I don't know.
but
I honestly feel like they need a whole like rebrand. Like I would honestly like, you know, like change the font, change something. Like it's just tired. You know what I mean? Like I honestly like I walk by it and I'm just like, I'm just not into you anymore. It's not you, it's me.
They should.
You should change. It's that I don't like the way you are. You should change.
So what you're saying?
It's not you. It's me. I don't like the way. I don't like you.
What you're saying, Jeff Sullivan, is
That's
that
me.
Ballast Point should become, what is it? Kings and Convicts? Like Kings and Convicts Sculpin is what we should be having now.
Yeah, that rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. with a side of Four Loko.
You know, I think can they even re-enter the real craft beer space?
Right. I mean, that's kind of what my question is.
Because they're a supermarket brand now, right?
Yeah. Hey, man. These are some mean streets, dude. It's blood in, blood out. You're already out, bro.
Yeah, they might need to retire Sculpin and just, you know, they had a decent portfolio of beers. I like the Benito. What was that? The Benito Pale Ale was good. You know, there's a couple others that I enjoyed.
Get rid of all the nautical stuff, like just something. Like they really need to start from scratch. Like the label's yucky, man. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I almost feel like some people might think like Ballast Point is cursed. Like they're like, sure, please buy this from us. This ruined our company.
All right. Anything else on that subject, guys?
Nah,
Okay.
for now.
All right. Let's move on to, if you're in a local bar and they've got the Sculpin on tap and you have one too many or four too many, how do you get yourself home? in today's world?
Hitchhike.
Hitchhike, walk,
Call an Uber.
call an Uber. So, car and
Yeah,
drive.
You don't even have to call. Just poke. Poke an Uber. That's what I do.
So, caranddriver.com published an article titled, "We're binge drinking more because of Uber," study says. Several studies suggest ride-sharing services have decreased alcohol-related driving death. A new one suggests they're making us drunker. So it goes in to talk about a study. There's great information in here, but I want to key in on one piece of it that says how they did the test was they went into cities that had Ubers from 2019 to 2009. What is it? 2000 between 2009 and 2016. And they asked people, how much they were drinking. So it was a survey. So take that for what it is. And what they found is that, and I like how they said this, quote, specifically, the cultural shift where we let unlicensed strangers act like taxi cabs and drive us anywhere we want to go has led to a 3% increase in the average number of drinks we down each day. It leads to 9% more binge drinking, which is 5 or more drinks in a sitting for men, 4 women, and anywhere from 17 to 22% more binge drinking in areas with weaker public transit. And so essentially what this study has shown is when Uber is available and we go out, we drink a lot more. And I just wanted to get your guys' take on this. What you think? Does this sound accurate? Does this, I don't know, just what are your thoughts, Jeff Solomon?
Wow. Gosh, I should preface this by saying, everybody, please enjoy your beverages responsibly. I would also say that, it's important that if you are drinking at all, anywhere at any time away from your home and you are getting home, you are not the person that is driving. And so I think it's wonderful that services like Uber and Lyft make it so much easier to make a safe decision when it comes to somebody who had too much to drink, who needs to get home, instead of them just saying I think I'm okay, and they just jump in their car and start driving. Having that thing where it's no, there's no excuse. You're not going to drink and drive. I think that's important, and it is saving lives, right? I also understand that, there's got to be this relaxed state where somebody was gosh, 5 or 6 years ago, if I was going out to meet my buddies for a couple of drinks in this area where we don't have cabs at every single corner, I really had to stop at one beer and wait a couple hours and then drive home. And now it's, sure, I'll have an extra beer. I'll just take an Uber, right? Mm-hmm. The thing that I would really want to know, and forgive me because I didn't read through their methods here, I'd like to know whether or not they were controlling for other factors, because there are a lot of things. We live in a very complex world, and there are a lot of variables that produce these ebbs and flows in terms of popular drinking habits. So I wonder if they controlled for things like that. I know that there's a lot of research talking about, politically over the last 6 years, people have really based on things that they're seeing in the world, there are a lot of more folks that are not being kind to themselves and being a lot more just unsafe if they're not seeing the world as this positive place, right? you're seeing stories like that. And so I'm wondering whether or not they're controlling for things like this, or if they're saying like, no, we're just isolating for this one factor. I don't know if you could,
Mm-hmm. And I didn't get a lot of raw data or a clear idea of exactly what was done as far as the questionnaire that they sent out was. No information was provided from Uber. It was purely a survey of people. So
yeah.
I think the methodology, I can't speak to it, but I wouldn't put a huge amount. This is like drinking a glass of wine is like going to the gym for an hour, if you ask me. I mean,
yeah. And then the other thing I'm thinking about, there was, you said a 3% increase in what?
In the average number of drinks we down each day.
In the average number of drinks we down each day,
3%.
a 3% increase. So if I was drinking, if I was drinking 100 milliliters, okay, I'll make this easier. Right here, this is a 500 milliliter can right here, 16 ounces. What's 3% of 500? That is
15 milliliters.
So now this is a 515 milliliter can that I'm drinking. Like, it's a can that's this much taller.
Not even.
Right?
That's a half an ounce.
So putting it into perspective like that, I don't know. You know what else has happened over the course of the last 4 years or so? There are a lot more cans of craft beer that are being sold in these 16-ounce cans as opposed to those 12-ounce cans. I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, these are all things
not to mention the average ABV of a lot of beers has gone up quite a bit. So 2 beers 5 years ago is a whole lot different than 2 beers today.
Yeah. It's just like when your grandpa says, back in my day, we were smoking marijuana that didn't even get you high. I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from, but they always go, and the weed today is 1,000,000 times strong. I guess. I don't know. But the other thing is, here we are living in a day where I have an advent calendar with beer, putting beer right in front of me, right? There are other factors, but going back to the point of this survey, is what they're saying making sense? Yeah, that totally sounds rational. People might have an extra drink or two knowing that they're going to take an Uber home on any given night. I could see that. I definitely could. Johnny?
So I drove for Lyft for about 6 months, about
Okay.
a year ago. So from October of 18 to through March of 2019.
How'd that go?
It was, I did it twice a week, Friday and Saturday nights. And I did occasionally in the morning, taking people to work or helping moms get kids to school or something like that. You pick up a mom with 2 kids. Invariably, I wouldn't say invariably, 90% of my fares, my lifts, were people going to drink. The other 10% were people going to work and they didn't have a car, or people going home from work because they didn't have a car. But,
that makes a lot of sense.
But 90% of it was picking up people to go drink. And sometimes it was picking some dude who didn't have a car and taking him to Rite Aid so he could buy a case of beer and take it back home. Because he already had too many to drink. Right. So, I'll take you up to the Rite Aid, you pick up a suitcase and I take you right back. That's cool. But one of the things that's interesting about this and difficult is that with this, people are showing up at Lizard Tail they're taking an Uber from somewhere else to Lizard Tail and they've already been drinking, right?
Oh,
And in New Mexico, it's illegal to serve an intoxicated person a drink. But so when those people walk in, if they already had a couple and it's been 45 minutes since they had something somewhere else, and so it puts us kind of in a bind because we don't know their consumption history because they're not driving, right? So it makes it very hard on servers to know and manage someone's consumption level. I mean, there's all, kinds of rules about the size of the person. You're large, medium, or small. You can serve them, it's okay to serve someone who weighs 275 pounds, a man, 3 beers in an hour because they can metabolize that. But you can't serve a woman more than 1 in an hour because women metabolize slower and they're smaller and, all those things. So it's made alcohol servers jobs that much more difficult because of that whole aspect of being able to Uber or Lyft from one place to a next and be drinking along the way without having to worry about driving. And yet, servers are responsible for your health, the health of other people. The other thing we've seen is that people will tend to stay a little bit longer and maybe have that extra beer, but maybe they shouldn't, and they get a little mouthy, right? They don't have to worry about driving, right? But, they get in arguments. People get argumentative after, sitting around a bar and you're just jobbing with people, and things can get out of hand for not out of animosity, but it just does, right? It's just the nature of the way that works,
okay.
Alcohol in large groups can cause problems.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner
Yeah.
with family, whatever. But anyway, so we've seen a little bit more of that with the Advent
Interesting.
calendar. If I should, we're talking about Advent, but with the oncoming of these ride sharing services, it's made life, you'd think it would make it easier for us, but it's actually made it somewhat more difficult.
That's really interesting.
I have to ask, John, did anybody ever ask you to take them down to the local Rite Aid so they could buy a 99 pack of PBR?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, I agree with you both that, having that Uber gives you, I don't want to say the permission, but it gives you that permission to if you want to have another beer or another drink, you can. I would hope, and I think we would recommend, that you still, even if you're not driving, take it in moderation. Alcohol is something that you have to kind of take in moderation, and Uber isn't a license to
tie it
on wheels.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope all of our listeners will still be responsible even when they have that in their hip pocket, that they can get that, so if you end up having an extra 1.5 ounces, good on you. That's okay. I don't even know if we want to get into the discussion of it, but this is going to evolve into the self-driving car where it will be even easier to possibly, we have to see where the laws come down on where this will be with self-driving cars, on what alcohol and riding in a self-driving car will be. But there's the potential that it could be even easier for you to have some drinks and then get yourself home, right?
That's a personal safety issue, right? I mean, think about, particularly in the wintertime. I mean, I had, growing up, I had a friend, a neighbor, whose older brother died in a snowbank because he got drunk and passed out. outside and froze to death. So, those kinds of things that, that's a personal safety issue. You could get in your self-driving car. It could be perfectly legal. And you go home and the car pulls into the driveway and shuts off and it's 15 degrees outside and you're dead the next morning because you're passed out in the back seat of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Or, whatever in that self-driving vehicle. So, I mean, there's, is there a constant beep, like wake up, go in the house, wake up, go in the house? The car reminds you to sleep on your stomach just in case you throw up and aspirate. I don't know. I mean, does the car come in and roll you over and put the car walks you in and puts a trash can next to your bed? There's all kinds of stuff to think about. Yeah, we don't want to. Certainly don't want to encourage people to overindulge because they don't have to worry about driving. That's not that's not what we want to have happen.
Of all of this, like having a safe way home doesn't mean you stop paying attention to what this is doing to you in the short and long term, right? I mean, be smart when you drink, people.
Yeah. Know your body.
Yeah. All right.
I wonder if the self-driving cars act like self-cleaning toilets. Like when you get out, like they go cleaning mode on, and and all the interior is just like this weird like steel.
As long as it's a live streaming, lady, I'm okay with that.
All right. Good booze news, guys. Interesting discussion points. I'm sure a lot of people will have a lot of disagreements with us. So let us know if you agree or disagree. We would love to hear your thoughts either on Facebook, here in the chat, wherever. Let us know what you think.
If you disagree, smash the thumbs down button. I dare you.
No, don't do that. Meanwhile, bump, 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 bump.
Last week was the last week of the regular season of the official We Like Drinking Fantasy Football League. I am happy to say that the best team in the league won again. Of course, I'm talking about myself. I dominated Tony from Swankville with a 149-84 to secure the number 9 seed in the league. Number 9 seed, Jeff? What do you mean number 9 seed? Well, what I mean is, while I'm not in like the the main tournament, I'm in the what do they call it in basketball?
The NIT.
The NCAA tournament. I'm in the NIT. I'm in the consolation tournament this week, and
Did you at least get a bye in the consolation tournament?
I didn't, but congratulations to Jeremy from the Felton Covered Bridge and John from Albuquerque for the buys. You are officially the best of the worst. Congratulations. Anyways, I'm really excited to go up against my friend Natalie from Watsonville. Last time we squared off, I wasn't too happy with the result, but this week, you're toast. I am going to roll through this entire constellation bracket. I guarantee victory. By the way, Cody the Shark Snake is the number 1 seed in the main tournament. He's a shitty player. His team sucks. I don't like any of his players at all. He lost last week and he still finished in first place. Really, what that says is shame on the rest of the league for not capitalizing. Congratulations to the main Jeff with the number 2 seed. He does have a bye this week. So we will be keeping an eye on Dimitri in the airport and Mr. Butt Destiny as they face off. And then also our buddy Ryan Hannigan is going up against Rhea from the Felton Covered Bridge. So congratulations to all those that made the playoffs. I just want to remind you, even if you take this whole league, first is the worst, according to what I was told when I was in kindergarten. First is the worst.
Yeah, thanks for asking me all the questions, Jeff Solomon.
What?
Being in the championship bracket, I will say I'm pretty excited that I didn't end up in the consolation bracket because the consolation bracket, I lost 3 games to players in the consolation bracket. Not you, Jeff Solomon. Not you. I'm a little worried though because in the championship bracket, there's 6 teams.
Yes.
But yeah, 5-0. I beat every single person in the championship league, and not by small margins. I walloped all of them in the regular season. It doesn't bode well for me. There's going to be a lot of grudge. There's going to be a lot of people coming for me because they all know. Cody knows. I mean, he finished 10-3. I finished 10-3. I beat him head to head. He knows who the better team is. So I think everybody has an axe to grind with me. They're all coming for me, guns a-blazing. So I think I am the team to beat in the championship bracket. So, all I can say is everybody should bring it because I know I'm gonna be, because that's what championship teams do.
It's funny. You're acting like you actually have control over what's going to happen in these games.
Jeff Solomon.
It's a game of luck.
We've suffered.
It's a game of luck.
Lived through 3 years of this with you. And the last 2 years, you've talked about how you're the best manager. You are the best because it's all strategy and knowing and all this bullshit. And now that
because I was winning, because I actually did things that helped me win. I don't know what the hell you guys are doing.
Best of luck to everybody in it. But
I think Cody actually benched Miles Sanders last week when he should have started him. He's the worst manager ever. You guys make horrible decisions. I wish nothing but the worst for every single one of you. I hope it ends in a 6-way tie.
Best of luck to everybody in the championship and the
NIT bracket.
The NIT bracket.
I don't need luck. I'm all skill over here, baby. Well, the team is stacked.
If Jeff is setting up his own German beer advent calendar of fantasy football, it must be
last call.
Last call.
Time to clean house and lock the doors. You know what we're doing here, folks? We're looking for a little bit of help from you. Jeff Solomon, if the folks want to follow us on social media, where is the best places for them to do that?
Hey, you can follow us on Twitter at We Like Drinking 1. That's the numeral 1. I hear Twitter is going to start deactivating inactive accounts. However, they're starting in Europe. So there's no date as to when they're going to start doing this in the United States. But we're on to you, regular We Like Drinking handle. We're going to take you down with your 0 posts and your 0 followers. You can also always find us on Facebook. Just search for We Like Drinking. And we'd love for you to join our private Facebook group known as The Tavern. You can get there you're on Facebook, so just search for The Tavern, ask a few questions or answer a few questions and get in on that. Or also, we're there on Instagram too. It's just We Like Drinking. The only thing I would say is don't say anything political on your personal pages or your Instagram account is going to get hacked by the Russians like mine did earlier today. I'm on to you. I'm on to you.
John Ruyak, if the folks have something to say about the show, where can they go to leave a review?
Well, search up the show on Apple Podcast and leave us a big 5-star review. And if you enjoyed this episode in particular, take their phone, sign us up, take their phone and share it with a friend and, just subscribe for them.
There you go. And folks, if you want to be part of the Super Cool Kids Club, there's two ways. One, watch our live show at welikedrinking.com/show every Wednesday, like Trump Studios is tonight. Also, you can become a part of the uber cool, but still not over drinking, member of the Patreon crew. That is where you give us a little bit of a monthly, a little bit of the side action to us. And in turn, you get some pretty cool swag and extra cool goodies. Visit welikedrinking.com/pledge to find out how you can join in and become a Patreon like Alexandra from Florida. You can also find the show notes for this episode with all the links to the stories or mentions we had at welikedrinking.com/episodes. Man, I don't know how we enter a show not knowing we're going to talk about and turn it into like an hour and 10 minutes of
comedy gold.
Gold and insults. But we managed to do it each and every week. But we've reached the time of the show where I get to say, okay, panel, let's take one last trip around the table and get some final thoughts before we shut off the lights. John Ruyak.
Yeah, 2 quick points. The first one is, we're talking about the tavern, right? Mm-hmm. And every single week at roll call, I think I get a pretty decent roll call game, right? Put up some nice wine, put up some nice beer. Man, I always get put to shame with some of our folks, our listeners, our members of the tavern, just like posting some ridiculously good stuff.
Dude, like for real. Y'all listen to this show. You guys drink well.
Yeah. But just join the tavern, man. Just to learn the stuff that's out there and like, holy shit, I need to go find that, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking next year, wine, beer, or pop culture advent calendar.
There you go. Really interesting to see what the pop culture he pulls out. You open it up and a poop emoji comes flying out, or
wow. It's a canister of vape juice.
Jeff Solomon.
Hey, I just wanted to talk about like something that I notice this sometimes, and it just annoys me so much. When you were younger, do you remember people going, like, when there was something that needed to be done, do you remember with you and your friends, there was something that needed to be done and nobody wanted to do it? So somebody would go, 1, 2, 3, not it. And then everybody would go, not it. And then the last person who didn't say it had to do it. Do you remember that? And
yeah.
The version where everybody touches their nose, the nose goes. Can I tell you something? That's fucking bullshit, man. Like, think about that. Like, think about what we're doing when we play that game. When somebody goes, 1, 2, 3, not it. What they're saying is, I'm really excited to not volunteer to do stuff. And everybody else just plays along like, yeah, that's a great idea. I don't want to do shit either. Like, what are we doing as a society? 1, 2, 3, not it. Nose goes. How about this? Get off your fucking ass and go do something with your life. Get up and go do something.
Solomon. Go get
a skateboard. Sprack some ollies.
Solomon, what did you get stuck doing?
I had to rock the baby while cooking dinner.
Did Kara
touch her nose? Touch her nose first,
or did she get you with the nose?
She went. Baby starts crying. She goes.
That's genius. I know I usually don't chime in here, but I do have to say, there's a lot made about the skill of people that can blind taste wines and tell you where it's from, what grape it is, what year it's made. Those people are chumps. The real people are the ones that can open a fucking Costco advent calendar full of German beer and tell you that, one, is any different than the other one because they all, for the most part, taste the same.
Oh, this is a this is a Wiesenbach hell.
I guess
Yeah, it's about 7%.
the one strategy that you could have going into it is to know that
As
you
you
just
say,
have
it's
to
a
sound-
lager.
You just have to sound angry and throw the word lager in it. This is Morgensnaggers from Bishop Friedenreich, and it's a lager. And you're probably going to get some points.
This is it's a Frieselbrau lager.
Is that like unibrow lager?
Next year there's gonna be a fucking pretzel calendar. Oh, see, this pretzel tastes different.
Eh,
I'll taste the same.
Yeah.
I'll taste
I'll say thanks again for joining us at the We Like Drinking podcast.
where you'll never drink alone. Oh.
Nike.
Und this one works with mustard, but this one nine.
So let me show
Ketchup.
me that can again. It said. Did it say gerbil wasser? Does that mean gerbil water?
This is
Gerbil
honored
Wasser.
as one of the world's best Wiesenbach hell beers. I don't know who said it. People are saying we're the best. Many people, many times.
4 out of
have
5
said that we're the
dentists
best.
agree.
My mother says we're really good.
All right, viewers. Thank you all so much for joining us. What's going on?
Thanks,
in the chat?
viewers.
What's going on in the chat, Jeff?
Nothing. Cassage said yo, and Trump Studios said yo. So
They were
thanks,
just
y'all.
they were all dumbfounded by our brilliance.
Yeah.
They were nonplussed by the rich diction of this show.
Viewers, we love having you guys join. We hope you enjoyed the show. Great seeing you, Kasai. Great seeing you, Trump Studios. Great seeing you, Solar, Tefri, Jeff Solomon. Great seeing all y'all. We'll hope to see you next week. I do have to warn you, the schedule may get
Wonky.
a little wonky for the next few weeks.
That's why you gotta smash the subscribe button and the bell.
So you're no. Yeah.
If we get let's throw it out there. If we get 25 patrons between now and Christmas, we'll record on Christmas.
Done. Done. You're saying 25 new patrons?
Yeah, 25 new subscribers.
Totally. I will totally ruin my family's day by totally doing that. So there you go. All right. Talk to you next week.
So ruin our Christmas.